continuing that trend here in April.
The difference is now is like obviously they've done a good job defensively against this.
Davion, 21 minutes Sunday against the Jazz. Here's Paul George, man. He has been on fire from three range.
We quickly go and double and triple team in, and so they're catching him before or as he's putting the ball on the floor. As Paul George gets one over the top, cleared out on 1 or 2 each time he's gone to the line tonight. That's his third trip.
Paul George, he just rises up. Here's Alex Lynn trying to close out on Paul George. George
pulls it back. Reggie Jackson picks him up. And George just going to take one himself. Little fadeaway is good for Paul George.
Love how he created space using that.
Brown comes up short. They need Brown to keep shooting, though. George, wow. Wow, George.
Yeah, they will arguably the best starting five in the game.
Nuggets and the Celtics can make legged runners. Just sees the game so well. Just follows the flow of the game as Paul George. Knee, whatever, and he's trying to play through it. That's one thing. Head injuries, though, make you a little concerned, but apparently he's okay as George. A Jokic triple-double in that game. That was here in Los Angeles. Paul George rises up, knocks it down. Harden gets stuck. George with KCP on him. Big screen by Zubac. Paul George. George feeling it right now. Keeps his dribble. Gets by Porter. Second time he's put that move on my Clippers. This is Watson on George. George barrels in. George lays it in. 10. Caldwell Pope with 13. George. Up and over Watson.
If they would play the Utah Jazz in the regular season,
See them trying to establish too early tonight. Right as PG knocks down that three just because of the lack of size with all the injuries. Like the Clippers, they just don't have the experience that the Clippers do.
there's a good shot of Will Hardy. Meanwhile, Paul George creates space and then some, and the Clippers have hit on 15-2. Jazz now trail in the first quarter by double figures for the 31st time. That leads the league in the NBA. Paul
In the league, young players. It's about getting better at understanding offense, but I think more importantly, PG knocks down. This team's locked in defensively. They beat anyone in the league. And their defense is ramped back up, and it's here again tonight.
Feel a good three and one.
Cavs 5 of 7. George. Their first lead, they've trailed by as many as 8. George, the pull-up from 10. It's good. The question will be, and no one knows right now, who they will play in the first round. Right now it would be Indiana as George locks and loads a 3 and assists for Cleveland here. And we just started the third quarter. George tries to challenge Mobley. He's got the long reach. Oh, it's a roof scraper.
Crafty with the ball in his head. If there's one thing they say he's a little small. Backdoor cut by Paul George.
12 to shoot for George. Okoro on him. George for 3. Oh, my goodness! It's a 5! 5 to shoot for George. Picked up by Allen. 2 to shoot. Going to be a tough one. A 3. Oh, it's... Garland just loses the ball. George is free to the rim. George with Strus lurking in the background. Launches in the mid-range. Oh, it's good! 37 for George. 7 to shoot for George. 3 to shoot. Gets down. Lets it fly for the lead.
Too strong, a little reverse attempt. Roman Powell getting back to challenge. Transition 3 for George, and just like that,
And making him facilitate.
George and Durant draped all over him. A tough contested step back 3. Suns, meanwhile, not feeling good about any shot that they are currently taking. George on a tough pull-up.
Concentration level is not there at the start, and it has just compounded itself. And now it's at a point where anything they throw up is going in. It's like it's a 30-point deficit.
Too strong, no. Allen tried to get a hand on it, but control. Westbrook finds his streaky Paul George. Stretch with Zubac on the floor, and they were so intent on trying to get him the ball each. As he's here to complete the process. George working on Allen. He got an extension on that arm.
And now it's just commonplace when James and Zubac get into it. It's funny, like that jump shot coming off of Zubac.
P.J. Tucker.
And he goes back to Paul George.
It's like watching the final brushstrokes of the Mona Lisa.
See, Paul George didn't want
corner three every once in a while.
Well, I think the last game helped him, too, in regards to his ability when he finally got out there and he got open.